Hello everyone, welcome to Nails of Interest. Today I have a completely different video than I usually bring to you. And those of you that are returning viewers notice something very odd about my hands and nails right now. And I'm going to explain that to you today. If you're new here, please hit subscribe below. It means a lot to me. Before I took off my last nail color, I noticed my pinky and my thumb were hurting quite a bit. And I thought, well, I've got a little lifting, perhaps, and I did know I banged this a little bit. So I took off the color and looked, and I was trying to investigate on my thumbnail. I took off all the hard gel that I have on, took it down as close as I could, thinking that I had a little lift. It wasn't a lift, not a real lift, a lift of the actual nail plate, which is the hard nail coming off of the nail bed, which is your skin basically underneath the flesh. And my worst one is right here, and I'll insert a little video. It's a fuzzy video because I just did it real quick to show one of my friends what was going on. And what this is called is onycholysis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I'll put it down on the screen. I'll put some info down below in case this is happening to you. I have it in this nail, and this nail. And what it is the nail is separating from the nail plate. You could actually stick something in there. See how far this is going? My doctor told me not to keep pressing way down in here because that could cause it to lift further back. I did discuss it with my family physician, and I was still a little nervous because my nails are like a lot to me, and they're on video all the time. And remember, I am not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. This is what my doctor told me. So put that little disclaimer out there. She says that I have onycholysis. That only means my nail plate is separating from my nail bed. And at first, this one was attached through here still. There's just a little opening here, and it went down in here, and all of this was way down here. It was like a big air bubble, but it was still attached on this side. So she said the first thing I needed to do, which I had already did, shorten pretty far down. She said to go ahead and make it where the flesh of your skin right here, as you can see, would be the first thing that touches, so that there's no way to snag it. Otherwise I could accidentally rip it off, especially to the extent that it was. Before I talked to my doctor, I had most of my hard gel filed down. I had the length pretty short, but since my hyponychiums, which is a little piece of skin that's under here, was too long to file it down, it was, it's flesh, it's living flesh. So after a while, a couple of days, I was able to shorten down to this length, and my doctor said to keep them that way, as short as possible. So I was using my Finsthetic, I'm not sure, nail file. I did a video on these before, and I'll put it up here in the suggested videos. This actually shines your nail, and it files your nail, but it doesn't hurt your skin at all. I mean, you can rub it, it doesn't hurt your skin. You can barely feel anything but glasses touching you. So I've been using this pretty much daily to just keep it filed down. And I'm not shining them up with it like I probably would normally do it. I need to file it down a little bit more, because you can see here. And at first I thought it was because I was getting these awesome C-curves in my nails. These are natural now, because I've had my nails long for so long. But that wasn't what was going on. It kind of distracted me from it. My physician, when I was talking to her, she remembered the last time I came in for a medical condition that was using up a lot of the vitamins in my body, making me super tired. She remembered that I mentioned that my thumb had hurt, that I had fell, because I fall a lot. I have a medical condition that my nerves just give out my legs and I fall, or I just get stumbly. And at that time I was pretty weak. I think my blood pressure had went down. Actually, my blood pressure had spiked when I seen her, and then it went down back to a normal. It's normally kind of low. But anyway, so I fall, I get lightheaded easy. She remembered me saying that I knocked this nail, and she had so kindly put it in my medical file, my medical notes. So she went back and could tell me, yes, indeed, I had trauma to this nail. And luckily that's what was causing it. Because and at the time, I did already remember that I had smashed this nail into something when I fell. And I had split the gel on top, right about in here. But I didn't split the nail. The nail just bent, which now that little white spot is way up here. It's almost grown out. The next thing to do is to keep these nails dry. At the time, she told me to keep all of them dry because she wasn't sure if, I had a bacteria or anything. She couldn't see any. So she said to keep both hands dry, like when I'm washing my hair, to put gloves on, that sort of thing. And then after, anytime they get wet, and at least daily, she had me take my alcohol. She had me get a little needleless syringe. This is just plastic. And I would go every day and squirt a little bit of alcohol. I still do this daily or when they get wet. Squirt a little alcohol in here. Because at first, this one was really, really of concern that it could grow something, because it was only detached up here. At the beginning, just this little tiny bit was detached. This was all attached. It was just a little bubble here and a little trail right through here. So if water got in here, or bacteria, it's a good breeding ground for bacteria and funguses. So she had me doing that every day. She said, do not go in there and poke it. Just place it between the skin and the fingernail and gently squeeze it till it fills up. And if there's anything in, just squeeze it out. It's a lot easier to do now that, they're all just halves. These ones are like about in here, but it's still too far back for me to remove and go ahead and put my hard gel back on. I'm not supposed to wear any color over these nails until they're fully healed. She said that if it's lifting up a lot, if it would have been back here and it was lifting up, she just told me to have applied a bandage to it to keep the nail on as long as possible to protect the nail bed. And she said that clear treatments and polishes were okay once I did my biopsy, but she wasn't sure she was going to do it at the beginning. She put word in with my dermatologist that I may be coming over for one. And I got really upset because at first I thought it was this one and this one. I didn't know this one was involved. So I was worried that, okay, something's growing here. I need to get a biopsy to make sure. They biopsied this nail. They cut it all the way back in a little V. Took it to the lab and I have nothing like that. I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place here. I keep getting interrupted by people. This is why I never film when Mr. NOI is home. Anyways, let's see. She said, keep it dry. Do not get it wet. File them as short as possible. Keep them trimmed until, this part grows out. Squirt with alcohol underneath. Do not wear colored polish so that I can see and monitor if anything else is going on. So my doctor also recommended for me to take a hair, skin, and nail vitamin supplement that also had biotin in it. And I was already taking an iron supplement for my previous medical condition. She said to continue with that, maybe take a little bit more, she told me. And she told me the amounts to take, but I'm not going to list amounts here because I am not a medical professional. So the causes for me were a combination of injury, nutrition deficiency. It's just all piled up on each other. So the official word for this is onycholysis, which is the fingernails become loose and can separate from the nail bed. Obviously, you can see that. And the separated portion can actually change. It'll be opaque, which you can see it's very opaque now. It was clear at the beginning. And you can have a white, which you can see I have a white, and I have the yellow, a little bit of the yellow, or a green tinge. And it's associated usually with injury or infection, but hormones, there's a couple other things. Women are more prone to it because nails, especially long nails, are like a little lever, and when you bump the lever, you're putting a lot of pressure on this part of the nail. I'll put some more information links down in the below where my doctor had told me that I can go and read up on it, and some that I read up on myself. So that's what's been going on here. It was really grotesque early on. Well, it was like, what's going on at the very beginning? Then it was a little grotesque. Now it's getting better. This is pretty nasty still to me. I think I've covered everything. If I've missed something that my doctor recommended to me, I'll list it down below, or I'll put it in little titles on the little words on the screen. I thank you everyone for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. It means a world of difference to me. I'm sorry that I've been rather inactive, but I'm having health problems other than this. I'm trying to get more regular. I have a few companies that I owe videos to. I promise I'll get them out, and I have some exciting products that I want to share. If you're having this type of problem, go see your doctor. You can do a telehealth visit, and that's where the doctor first pretty much diagnosed me. I thought it was right, but I got a little worried, especially since what I do here, that it was going to spread to this hand. I was going to have a whole bunch of problems. So I went to the dermatologist, and they specialize in skin and nails. So they sent it off for a biopsy. I'm doing great. She didn't think there was going to be any problem, but I insisted on that biopsy. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Thank you everyone so much for every minute you watch. Till next time, you be you and I'll be me. Bye-bye.